ADN or BSN nursing? Which is best for you? What is good, you guys? It's NWA here, Nurse Pat. Today we dropping some heat. Now, this is a common question that's asked to me by a lot of students. It's about time to make a video on this.
I'm waiting, old man.
In this video, I'm going to give you my personal opinion on the pros and the cons of both, as well as different pathways one can take. Now, the most optimal path, is a personal case-by-case basis. So I can't tell you a concrete answer.
Huh? Are you kidding me?
But I'm sure this info will help guide you. Now, if you didn't know, an ADN is basically an associate's degree in nursing. A BSN is a bachelor's degree in nursing. ADN is typically a 2-year program in a community college, while bachelors are usually 4 to 5 year universities, colleges, private schools, etc. Both can obtain an RN license, literally the same one, and take the same NCLEX. In terms of NCLEX pass rate, there's only around less than 10% of a difference between pass rates amongst associates and bachelor students. In my opinion, this means that self-study habits towards the NCLEX is more important than the couple more years of schooling that you had getting your bachelor's.
What I learned in boarding school is
nothing but some bullshit.
In terms of passing the NCLEX. Now, here's the pros and cons to both. ADN Pros. 2 years is, of course, less schooling needed to start working as a nurse. This option saves you a little bit of money because it's less schooling, and also you're usually going to community colleges, which is drastically less money for tuition. This can be ideal for those who are already working a different job and or are parents that need to support a family. Now for the ADN cons. Larger hospitals, especially in well-known larger areas, are kind of drowning out ADNs. Most will prefer a bachelor's degree. Also, generally you're gonna get less pay. If you're hired as an RN as an associate's degree and you're hired as an RN as a BSN, the BSN typically will make more money than you, even though you're doing the exact same job. Albeit, probably a fairly marginal amount. Now, let's go to BSN Pros. Higher qualification into getting into a good hospital and good position. As mentioned earlier, higher pay and more job security. Now, the BSN Cons, of course, would be more years of schooling. And more years of schooling means more loans required, more money required, more sacrifice, basically. So what's my input? I went straight to bachelor's, so I'll try my best not to put a bias towards that. Overall, I do believe everyone should, by the end of the day, have a bachelor's degree. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to go straight for a bachelor's. For some people, I'd actually recommend getting an ADN first.
What did he say?
For those who either don't have as much money or they want to save money, supporting families, can't afford to really let go of their current job, this is more optimal in my opinion. Because all those years sacrificing going for a bachelor's straight, you're losing out opportunity on saving money, because if you're an associate, you could at least start working a little bit as an RN rather than having a job that's not a nurse, most likely making less money. Then, after you have your ADN and you're past your NCLEX, you're working as a nurse already, then you can consider you going to a bridge program. They have them all over the place, in which you basically will get a bachelor's, a BSN, after you got your ADN. And these bridge programs are typically less than 2 years.
Come on, man! That's too easy!
And if you're working as a nurse already with your ADN, it'll help you pay for these bridge programs. In fact, if you're in a specific hospital, they usually will give you a little bit of reimbursement while you're going to school.
Tell them to bring me my money.
Tuition reimbursement. Some are more generous than the other. If you can reduce your work hours or go per diem while going to this bridge program to get your bachelor's, and you're still stable financially for your family, I think this might be ideal. Now, on the flip side, for those who might consider going to a bachelor's first, here's my opinion. If you have the financial means or support, it might be a consideration to go to a bachelor's program first. This is, typically for the younger folk who, like myself, who went straight from high school to college, and have parents that are luckily able to help out with some finances. I basically paid for all of my tuition via loans, and I paid that off. But they really did help me out with the necessities like housing and food. And I'm definitely thankful for that. Thank you, Mama.
Mama!
Now, I could be wrong. but I really do feel like hospitals typically have like a better building a rapport with students that are coming from bachelor's programs. You know, unfortunately, I do kind of hear the shit talk sometimes, you know. It's not cool, but it happens, right? Sometimes you can see a difference in caliber of the knowledge and the commitment of someone who's in a bachelor's program and associates. Now, I'm not saying that's gonna be you, but sometimes you do see this. This type of trust and relationship can go a long way. For instance, a ton of my classmates were able to find jobs around the area, the local hospitals, and these are good hospitals, fairly easily after passing the NCLEX. I'm included.
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
No, Patrick.
Why I think this is because a lot of us had clinical rotations here, and you know, they see our work ethic, they see how we've done during rotations, and there's a lot of alumni already in the hospital working, even as higher ups. So I feel like there's kind of that home court advantage in that sense. Well, that's all I got for now. There's no concrete answer for everyone. It's very situational whether you choose ADN versus BSN. You know, in my opinion, I do believe that at the end of the day, you should have at least a BSN. The opportunities are just so much more when you do have one. But that doesn't mean you can't go with ADN first and then eventually BSN. Only you
Could prevent forest fires.
can figure this out for yourself. Well, I hope this video provided some insight for you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to support your boy if you're feeling the content. And as always, stay safe, stay humble. I'm out.